Genesis 19, and I have to give you a warning here. This is a tough chapter to read, especially for the younger readers out there, because we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Now remember, Lot is Abraham's nephew, and he had moved and he was living in Sodom in that area. And it says that these angels came, and again, I'll let you read this for yourself. This is kind of a longer chapter, and it tells this story of really the wickedness of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's pretty sad to read. It says in verse 15, as morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, up, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, lest you be swept away in the punishment of the city. So God was going to punish the city. Remember in chapter 18, Abraham interceded for Sodom. And now we see what ends up happening in Sodom. The people are truly wicked. It just shows what can happen in a culture that has become wicked. And so again, I'll let you read this for yourself. But in essence, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And it says, but God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had lived. Okay, so that's kind of the end of that story right there in verse 20. And then I just wanted to show you one more thing, which again is really hard to read, but Lot ends up impregnating two of his daughters after that brutal story in Sodom. It says, thus both of the daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father, which certainly was not a godly thing to do. Just because it's in the Bible doesn't mean it was the right thing to do. So don't misunderstand that when you read that. It was actually a sinful thing to do. The firstborn bore a son, and his name was Moab, and he's the father of the Moabites. So if you go on to read the Old Testament, you're going to learn about the Moabites, and this was their dad. And then the younger bore a son. His name was Ben-Ami, and he is the father of the Ammonites to this day. So if you've heard of those phrases, the Moabites and the Ammonites, this is where they got their start. So kind of a tough chapter, not so much about Abraham, a little bit more about Lot, but you're ready to read it now, and we'll see you tomorrow for chapter 20.